welcome back to the Tansson Talks show. I'm Brandon, the host of the show, and I always love doing this. Well, I'm so excited to get into today's episode 112, by welcoming my guest here today, Uyen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brandon, for the great introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Uyen. I'm a senior at Purdue University, study in PR and sales. Kind of fun fact about me is that I actually an international student from Vietnam, so like halfway from this country. And it's been a journey for me. This is my fourth year living in the U.S. and study here, and I'm very excited to be one of the guests of this show.
And I'm so excited to have you as a guest of the show. And I know you said that you'd actually watched some episodes in the past.
Yeah, I mean being a part of PSA helped me connect with a lot of member, and I know you feature a lot of our PSA national community like Sean, Mila Cross, Otley, I think Megan too, right?
But yeah, it's been so fun being able to connect with so many PRSSA members, especially members of the national committee. And I want to allow you to go ahead and introduce yourself for the watching or listening audience.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned earlier, my name is Wing. Well, I am a part of PSSA committee this year. I am the vice president of belonging, equity, diversity, and inclusion. My responsibility is basically raising awareness about DEI in everywhere. So like workplace, your chapter, just community in general. Beside PSA, I am just international student trying to navigate working in the US, but also just globally through communication, but also through sales. I'm very interested in different industry as I try to explore myself, my limit, my expertise, stuff like that. And I'm really excited to just be in here, learn more about Brandon, but also just learn more about the show.
Oh, I certainly love that. And yeah, I'm so excited for us to go ahead and, get started. And I know, of course, since you are the PRSSA vice president of BEDI, are you able to tell us a little bit about that and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier, we basically try to raise awareness about DI to the member. I think this position is very important, just because with the current politics in the U.S. right now, but just in the world in general, DI is something that drive the change in our community. Without it, there's no diversity group of people or talented to create a innovative solution to any problem. And I also think that it's really help for everyone to learn each other's perspective and culture, because at the end of the day, we work together to make our community become better, become positive to each other. So I think my position just simply help people to learn each other better, like know each other better, each culture, especially as being an international student, study here in the US, in Indiana. A lot of people don't have the chance to actually meet foreigner, and I think that is something that I want to do. It just kind of influence positive about my culture, but also learn each other, like other people culture, like American culture or different country culture, and kind of immerses in communication.
Well, that's amazing. And for anyone that comes to you and reaches out and wants to know about more about your position and the importance of DEI and what you do in BEDI. So what do you generally tell people, especially since so many people I don't think fully understand the whole scope of what that means?
Well, actually, that's a really good question. I think um, just DI is very complicated topic. It sounds easy when you talk about it, but I think even though it's very complicated, I think actions speak louder than words. So as you can see nowadays, there are so many organization, company that publish their DEI. But the question we should ask is, what kind of action do they do? when it comes to DI. Do they support employee, customer, their business partner through diversity or not? Um, and you kind of have to really, do a really good research, dig into their company culture and stuff like that. And I think it just, do a lot of research, talk, and talk about it, be proactive, be reactive also. That's something I learned yesterday during the general meeting with PSA. Uh, you always have to be alive to somebody because that person will be your ally at the end of the day. So yeah, just be advocacy, and be approach to the problem. Don't just be the upstanding. Don't just be the standard who just look at the problem and ignore it.
I love that answer, and I think it really does, answer so much of a lot of people's questions or concerns because I know it's so many people I don't think fully have an understanding of what it is, what it entails, and I'm so glad that you're able to bring your personal experiences into the role.
Thank you. I think it's yes. I think personal experience is something that really motivate me to run in this position, but also just kind of like want to become someone here who actually influence positive to the community through diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I love that, and I definitely, will be asking a little bit more. But I did want to sort of zoom out a little bit, since I know that, a part of our primary topic of discussion is your study abroad experience while living here within the United States. And so, first of all, I know you said that this is your fourth year here.
Yes. This it, it's been a journey. I'm not gonna lie. When I first come to the US, I was 17. It was right after COVID. I had no cell phone, no, like I know no one basically, especially coming to the school that you basically see online, like Purdue. If in case you don't know, Purdue is a really big school. Um, so the fact that I have the support community here. There's not a lot of international when I first come, especially just the Asian community. But I think as I very outspoken, very outgoing with people, be friend with them. I love the community here. Everyone always support me as I always support them. So yeah, it's been a journey just to learn who am I, and continue to navigate my journey later on.
Well, I really like that you mentioned that, when you were 17, when you first came here, that was, yeah, hard to sort of get adjusted, but I like that you're able to, to strive with it though.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I cannot believe it was 4 years ago when I know nothing. Like my English was, I think my English was very academic, but coming here, the culture differences, the culture shock also, and just in general, everything is just so brand new. Like living half away from the world, is homesickness is something that I think all the international students have to deal with. There's a lot of crying, there's some sadness, but again, I think Purdue community, but also PR's like community is, you know, kind of always help my back. It's just so amazing to have that support throughout my journey because honestly, without them, there's no me here. There's like I don't think I'm get in this position I am right now.
Well, I'm glad that the PR community does have your back. And what originally first led you, to study within the U.S. and pick, this field?
Um, well, honestly, that's actually a funny story. So I actually a big fan of K-pop. Um, and one of the boy band that I really like named NCT. So think of like One Direction, and your favorite member was Harry Styles. And this hairstyle in my K-pop boy band is actually from Chicago. So I just kind of applied to all the schools that near Chicago, including the Purdue University, Purdue. I do apply to other state too. And also part of the reason why I go to US is because my high school when I went to international high school, so our education is actually American based. Um, so anyway, I end up choosing Purdue. Honestly, because it's you know, a ranking is popularity, but also it's because of the cost. For the major, I kind of choose communication at first. I don't really have specific with PR or mass communication or anything like that. And the reason why I choose communication is because I just love to talk like what we're doing right now. That's kind of simple thing like that. And also during COVID time, I used to be like a TikTok famous in my country. I basically talk about K-pop, do like a lot of viral video. I think one of my viral video at that time was like 100 to 200,000 views. It was really popular. A lot of people know me from that, and then they still contact with me through my social media right now. But those simple things like that just help me realize that I just want to do something related to social media, communication, stuff like that, and that's why I decided to choose PR. Um, and yeah, I think that was one of the best decision I make in my 17th.
Wow. Well, that certainly is a story about why you decided to come here.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever I bring it up, no one expected. I remember I bring it up to my professor um in one of my first like one-on-one communication class, and he just looked at me and be like, "You cannot be serious." And I was like, "No, I'm really serious with my decision at 17."
As a, did you ever come across where the K-pop person is?
Oh yeah, I end up went to two concerts for that boy thing during my sophomore year, and I was like, I make a post about it. I was like, I choose Purdue because of them, not because of the school. It was a joke though, but it just like it's just kind of funny whenever I think of it. And honestly, I love Chicago. I in love with it since I watched their video. So the fact that I was able to relocate myself when I was 17, live near Chicago, is a very fortunate opportunity for me to learn and grow.
Well, that is good though. And how long did it take you to get adjusted to Chicago?
I think just not just Chicago, but just like Indiana or honestly just American in general, I would say I adapt to like American culture or environment really quickly compared to my other Vietnamese peer, only because I had an opportunity back home where I study in international high school, in which it's very American space. So I don't really have a lot of culture shock or anything like that. Um, but that doesn't mean that I don't have racial discrimination when I'm living here for 4 years, and it's one of many reasons why I think again kind of back with the DI in the beginning that we talked. Um, yeah, I think that those little things that happened in my journey living in America really helped me to um, really know who I am, like being an Asian international woman. um, I have a lot of challenges, and the fact that I always advocate myself because at the end of the day, your like your number one supporter is yourself. That's what I learned. And I think that's something that I always try to remind myself every single day is that you have to advocate yourself because no one really come to help you. Um, so yeah, I think that my adjust able with any culture is really fast, but that doesn't mean that I'm not uncomfortable with like a lot of challenges like racial discrimination. And the way that I'm just overcome it, just basically speak out, be proactive, just like how I do with PSA as a VP of the BDI.
Well, I'm glad that one that you were able to overcome and be able to, uh, to adjust quickly. Although I'm so sorry that you had to deal with racial discrimination when you came here and throughout your time within these 4 years.
Yeah, I actually, yeah, I don't think it's, I think racial discrimination is something that I don't think it's like, it's a good opportunity for me to know how to deal with it because I heard about it, but until I actually face with it, I think, it's like crisis management as a communicator. So I think it's a really, good experience for me in a positive mindset. But definitely something that I love to like be a part of the channel in the future.
Well, I'm glad at least that you were able to grow from it and take that experience and know how to deal with those situations in the future. Oh, hopefully, there's not too many of them.
Yeah, I hope so. But I think so far, everyone, especially in PSSA, um, recently they published the DI statement, and I think the fact that they put it out really helped like future PR or just communicator feel more included in this very dynamic environment that we're having right now.
Well, I'm so glad that is able to, to help and and make a difference and continue with, your personal journey. So overall, like, how was your first, your first year or two within your studies?
Yeah, I think my first year, well, my first year at college definitely in the beginning there's a lot of challenges, just like language barrier. Even though I learned English since I was very little, it's still hard to communicate with people just because it's not very academically like I learned in school or back in my country. Um, but I think just over the time, people willing to help me, and I'm willing to learn. And I think that's something that I want to highlight. Is just you always have to be open minded and always open to learn new things, take criticism because that's how you grow. And then I think in the beginning, just in general, I just learned how to adapt with the environment. But also, that's is also when I start to think about if PR or just communication is the right path. Just because um, Purdue is very STEM-based major school, so it's very engineering, business. It's not really liberal arts school like communication. Even though we was ranked 17 nationally, but I still think there's a lot of adjustment to that, and because of that, when I first joined PSA, I'm not really find it beneficial to me, and I actually drop it. And I only come back near the end of sophomore year, where I was in Chicago attending the Pole Midwest Conference as a Purdue representative, and that's when I meet so many PSA member from different nation, but also just different country too, and learn so much about peer skill, different stuff in PR in general, the industry, meet so many professional, and that's when I get my smart with communication and PR come back, and I decided to stick with this major until now. So that's kind of like a brief, like in the beginning of my journey with PR, but also with PRSSA.
Well, that's so interesting. To hear that you had joined PRSA and decided that you weren't really benefiting from it. You decided to leave, and then ultimately decided to return back.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Because I think part of it is because um being like Asian, being the only a few Asian in liberal art in liberal art college at a very STEM based university um is something that make you feel very lonely. Like I always feel outcast in the beginning because most of my classmates is white. There's not a diversity in my course. My major And the fact that I had the opportunity to explore that, oh, there's different race, different ethnicity in this PR industry really helped me to stick back with my decision that I made in 17. Um, and just also, I think the stereotype of being Asian, you have to go to STEM, you have to study engineer, IT, business, really made me feel like I have to belong to part of that group. And because of that, I think it's also one of the challenges I have to overcome by now. I'm still working on it, but you know, um, as I mentioned earlier, part of study abroad or part of going to different country or just going to college or university and engage with a new environment is to learn about yourself. And I'm glad that those experience, those like little thing that I challenge, little challenge that I faced when I was like 17, 18, sophomore year, freshman year really helped me to learn who I am. Because you thought, you usually think that you know yourself the most until you face with something that you never experienced. And I think that's something that I learned a lot during this study abroad.
Well, that's so interesting. I mean to hear about that, and having to not just, of course, college is a time of sort of finding yourself and to um, figure out what you do and don't like, but have to do that on top of trying to deal with other people's assumptions about you and what you should or should not be doing, and trying to make friends in a brand new environment halfway around the world.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely confident. I would say that confident, and again, open mind, take criticism. Like I had people rejecting me from interview, from job application, from just simply like organization application. you know um and I think one thing that I learned, and I still like that quote, is that rejection is redirection. um Nothing personal. Sometimes the rejection just help you to navigate a better way be to involve with something that you in love, or be in a very environment where you comfortable of being yourself, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. And out of curiosity, like during your time within the U.S., have you been able to visit back home at any time?
Yeah, I actually this is the only year that I did not visit home. But for the past year I visit home a lot. But I think something that I learned along the way is that no matter how many times I come back home, I still feel I'm still not feel like I'm actually at home. And the reason why is because it's so short. It's like 3 months during summer, and for winter break it's like 3 weeks. Um, and I'm not really able to see everyone in my family. And also, I think part of it is because I start to consider myself as like a global citizen, so I kind of see everyone as my family now. But also part of it is because the long distance really helped me to also learn about my parent or my family struggle. And really helped me to actually build a very strong relationship with my family. Not saying that I don't have a good relationship with them before. It's just like it's really helped me to know what my parents do for me, and I'm grateful for that opportunity because uh, going abroad and have this amazing opportunity from PRSA to networking to anything that I have so far is part of it because of my parent. And I always say this is like I always thankful for my parent because without them, without their support, um there's no me. There's like literally no me today. So I'm really glad that I have a very supportive parent who support my career, who support what I'm doing, and understand my struggle, even though they don't really in PR industry. So yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you are appreciative of your parents. And out of curiosity, had they ever been able to come visit you in the U.S.?
Oh yes, I. It's kind of funny. They've actually been here twice. Yes, twice. They've been here before I go to college, just like for work and travel, personal travel. But we are able to go as like went to the U.S. as a whole family last summer, and it was their first time in California, but also in Chicago, and also the first time they visit Purdue campus. Um, and I'm just happy that they can see the environment that I grow through the past 4 years. Because FaceTiming and just chatting online don't help them understand, but like the fact that they was able to see what they I usually do for school or what I usually um work, stuff like that, just help me to feel like they understand me better. And yeah, I can talk about my parents for like more than an hour. I think the relationship between family really helped me a lot during this journey, just because homesickness, I kind of mentioned earlier, homesickness is something that I'm still struggling with, like, and I know a lot of people are doing having it too, because even though 4 year is not a long time for a lot of people, but 4 year for me just make me realize that home is the most important place. Home is not home is not a place like the physical place, but home is with someone that you love, and my family is someone that I love. So yeah.
I love that sentiment, and I'm so glad that they were able to come and visit you and see like the different places that you enjoy going to and showing them around. And so I'm sure that you enjoyed that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of fun fact. My sister will go to US for study abroad next year too. So who knows? She might go to Purdue. She might go to, honestly, I don't know, any other state.
Well, that's outstanding. Do you have any guesses as to where she might go?
um, I still hope she's become Boilermaker, go to Purdue, because this would be kind of funny. Cause a lot of people don't know that I have a sister. They think I'm the only child until I told them that my sister actually about to go to college. But I think she might go to California. Though UCLA, UC system is her favorite. But we'll see. But I think no matter what she chooses, she will grow a lot, just like how I did when I was 17. Um, so I'm really excited for her journey, because now I have someone that I really close with to be in the state and not have to wait for 12-hour differences to call them every single day. So yeah.
I love that. You definitely sound like a proud older sister.
Yeah, my sister is the best. She's way smarter. She's also very self. She's not broadcast like teenager like me, so that's why I think she's. If you meet her one day, you will understand why she's become the leader in a very young age too. But yeah.
I absolutely love that. And yeah, and fast forwarding a little bit, how's your senior year been thus far?
Well, actually, this is kind of like, thanks for asking that question. First of all, I think this senior is a time for me to reflect everything. One of it is because of my graduation day. So instead of graduate in May like other peers, I will graduate in December 2025, which is like one more semester for me. And it kind of hit me a lot, just because I was very upset at first, just because I feel like I just way behind from everyone. Everyone basically have a job, a career, and I'm still stuck here being a college student. But I remember I talked to one of my professor, and he said that everyone have different tabs, so don't compare, because comparison is the thief of joy, and that really hit me. I realized that everyone have different tab, different path, um, and even though I would be so sad later on that all my best friend, good friend, basically leave Purdue for the new adventure. But that doesn't mean that we not contact. In fact, this is kind of funny story. Whenever I go to the bar and I kind of tipsy, I always make like emotional speech to all my friends, being like, I'm gonna miss everyone whenever people leaving and stuff like that. And I think one of my friends said that I need to live in the moment, and I think that's something that I basically try to do right now. Is just try to hang out, connect with people that I love, just and live the moment. Because again, everyone have different time, different path, and at the end of the day, as much as effort you put into those relationships, they will also put the same efforts. So no matter where people part away from because of their journey, I still think that relationship building or effort just really helped to me to maintain no connection throughout the time.
I love that, and I'm so glad that that you're able to, to continue to grow, make connections, and meaningful ones at that. And I did actually want to highlight a little bit of what you were saying at the beginning of the conversation. Of course, being the vice president of BEDI, and so for you, what originally initiated you to run? Because as you mentioned before, you'd originally left PR to say, and then you decided to come back, but not for a local office. You decided to run for national office. So, like, what sparked that interest?
Well, thanks for asking that question. It's kind of funny whenever people kind of like realize that I just the member and then I just run right away to national. I think part of it, as I mentioned earlier, is because of my personal experience in living in the state, being Vietnamese and just international student in general. I often feel very outcast, especially when you're majoring in something that not a lot of Asian or a lot of other ethnicity majoring, and also just being a very STEM based school and study something not very STEM based, also make that too different. So that's kind of my first motivation, and my second motivation was actually after joining or participating in the Purdue University Midwest Conference in 2022, I believe. I met so many great member, and they really influenced me to be the chain, especially those PRSA professor that talk during that conference. And I think just those relationships really helped me to find myself again in this industry. And yeah, and then I just decided to run this position just because I'm just passionate with DI from my personal experience, but also just be just I just want to be the chance, and I think that's the best decisions I make. Is to go big or go home. There's nothing to lose. Um, because at the end of the day, no matter if you just a local chapter member or a national committee, you always want if you have attention to be the change, you always be the change to someone or a community. So yeah.
I love that, and I'm so glad that you gave yourself that chance and that you were able to, to do it, make it to the national committee, and yeah, and so I actually did want to ask. So, what was the process of even running for the position, and did you get, any advice for it, or as you were transitioning into the role?
Yeah, so before I run for the national committee, I actually joined a subcommittee of PRSA called Brown Council. So this committee is basically work under the VP of DI or BDI, and we basically a team of four. So I basically work creating like initiative that just help elevate DI within chapter, but also work with nonprofit organization that PI as a collaboration and work. speaking with Theo, the past VP of DI, and also your past guest from the show, really helped me to learn a lot of different culture, how to uh, use those perspectives to implement PR campaign. And during that time, I also won the first play of Muslim competition that collaborate with PRSA. We basically make a PR campaign for in Iowa just to motivate people to participate this Muslim event and learn about the religion. And those small little things that I did with PR Proud Council really helped me to uh, you know continue this passion, and it's kind of the reason why I run. Um, when I run, honestly, I don't really prepare that much. Not because I'm very confident that I will win. It's just because I think at the end of the day, if I got rejection again, it's a redirection. Um, but I think my advice is that just go big or go home. It's because I think that if you are the one who reject yourself first, then you not being able to get anything. This is applicable to everything in life. So like internship, job application, etc. Because I think that if I reject myself first, if I think I'm not good enough, then who will actually think I'm good? That's why, kind of as I mentioned earlier, you have to be your number one supporter, no matter what situation. And I think that's kind of something that I really helped me to build the confidence during the running process. Um, I kind of think it as a way to meet a lot of people. It's kind of the reason why I run too. It's not only because of my passion in DI, but also just being able to connect with so many professional in PRSA, but also the member from the coordination, but Puerto Rico, Argentina, etc. Just being able to have that connection with a lot of people and build meaningful relationship with them outside of just work with them professionally is something that I want to do in the long run, just because I just want to be friends with everyone basically. So I think yeah, I think that don't reject yourself first, just give it a try. You never know. And even if you're not winning, um doesn't matter. There will be some great opportunity after that, and there will be some place that belongs to you. So yeah.
I really enjoyed that sentiment, and I think that I mean that's so true. That oftentimes, whenever something happens, or you're preparing yourself, that oftentimes I feel like we can speak for myself as well. Like we're the ones that sort of check ourselves out, being like, and well, we have no chance. There's not a point. And I know, like even for me, about 5 years ago when I was about to finish out high school, I one of my goals for high school was to be able to finish early and start college early, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's like that was my goal. I don't think I have the grades to really do that. It's like they weren't bad, but they're just okay. Um, and but I was like, but people were telling me, no, 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 you need to at least do it anyway. And so, sure enough, when I got the acceptance, I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I mean, imagine had I not, done it, I'd been in a completely different place right now. And so sometimes it's just we have to let the process play itself out. And like you said, if it's not a rejection, it's a redirection.
Yeah, and I think honestly, yeah, like sometimes rejection is a lesson. Just helps you to improve better. Like I have a bunch of interview failed interview, and I know why I fell after that. And I again take criticism, learn from it, nothing personal. Because I think at the end of the day, everyone try to support you, but again, your number one supporter is yourself, and that is my biggest advice to anyone who listens to this podcast right now.
I love that. And yeah, and speaking of support, if I remember correctly, you actually made a nonprofit.
Oh yes. Yeah, I completely forgot that until you mentioned it. Yeah, so a bit about my family background is that we actually work a lot with a healthcare industry. So my parent is actually pharmacist, and they are my biggest inspiration. I have a lot of opportunity to go volunteer at the local hospital in my city, but also just go to different province just to support education access and healthcare access in general. And during COVID, I decided to create my non-profit organization, um, just to be just to help patient to get access with FAMAS because just a bigger background during that time was that we usually run out of FAMAS, and patients at the hospital already don't have a lot of um, access to healthcare because the cost of the medicine etc is really expensive. So the fact that so my goal for the organization is just try to help them at least a bit of something, and that's why the FAMAS was something that we really want to provide. And lucky enough, I kind of used communication during that time, and it's one of the reasons why I'm getting to PR is that I kind of do media pitching to a lot of parents during my high school, and actually one of them own like um a factory that actually produce face masks. So we actually end up raising I think 300 like cash, but 5,000 famous to donate, which is really good. But not only we able to help the community, I think one of the big thing that I also realize is that the impact of that organization to the people that I work with. Because after I kind of study abroad, I kind of lead the organization to other fellow high schooler in my school, and one of them is actually my sister. She ended up become the president of the club or of the organization, and she able to help a lot of like a certain area children to able to get education and healthcare access. We actually raised 1,000 USD during her time, and I was advising her too. So the fact that I was able to influence someone that I really close, like my sister, to continue that passion, just to help someone in the community, is the biggest thing, and I'm so grateful for that experience. So yeah, like even though none of us really do the organization right now, but the fact that the positive inflow of the organization still uh transparent to that high school, and just people in the community really meaningful. And the fact that I was able to use my parent opportunity that they given to me and my sister to visit patient and just the community, and how healthcare or just any industry can help one one person in community, just really meaningful to me. So yeah.
I absolutely love that, and I'm so glad that you were able to help create that opportunity for so many people, and that your sister was able to help continue with that as well. I mean, truly keeping it a little bit in the family there.
Yeah, I think um I'm really glad I was one of her influencer. Like, this fun fact about me and my sister is that we don't really spread our love to each other. We kind of like act like we don't like each other, but like we actually really support each other. To the fact that she was able to get that influence from me is probably one of my proud moments, because we don't spread our love to each other. So the fact that she used that motivation for me to do it, and yeah, it just kind of like also it's like part of the reason why I joined PR too is because I might not become the doctor or pharmacist, but I can still help people in my community through communication. So yeah.
I love that. And yeah, our field is just so amazing that we're able to do a little bit of anything and everything and truly help continue making the impact.
Yeah, absolutely. I think PR is so big. And it basically can be anything that we want. Um, and I'm so glad that I still here, still in this major in this industry, and I cannot really. I'm really excited to see how what come next because I think PR drive the society right now.
Well, I'm so excited for what comes next as well. And speaking of that a little bit, I know not that long from the time that we're speaking. Of course, we're speaking a few weeks earlier than this releasing that you have PRSA Leadership Assembly coming up in North Carolina. So, are you ready for that?
I am. I'm really excited to see all the PSA National Committee. They become my really close friend, which is very unexpected to me. Just because I feel like when it's come to long distance, visually we cannot really friend like that close. But I'm really excited to see them. But I also really excited to see a lot of old face from different chapter, but also a lot of new member from because a lot of them might be different step in leadership assembly. Uh, and also, I never been to Charlotte, so I am very excited to explore the city and see what's just kind of hang out with everyone. Even though the leadership assembly, the running position might take a lot of time, but I'm just in general, I just excited to see everyone again before this year my term ends. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I look forward to whatever ends up happening at the Leadership Assembly. But since obviously the one this year hasn't happened as of recording, I did want to ask. So, how was the one last year when you went?
Um, I think it was fun, but definitely a lot of intention. um, I think the running process is quite long, but um, I think I'm able to connect with a lot of students. Like some of them still my friend now. And it's also my first time in Seattle as well. So the fact that I have a chance to explore the city really um a fun experience for me. But I think just in general, just the people is the reason why I just in general, just the reason why I joined PSA and in love with PR industry. Everyone's so nice to me. Um, and I hope and it's also motivate me to really try to win the position that I am right now. Just to just try to pay it forward. It's kind of one of my beliefs to just try to help other in the community. So yeah.
Well, that's so exciting, and I definitely look forward to hearing all about, like I said, your travels and how has it been? I mean, even in your current position, traveling place to place, over this past year.
Well, I love it. I I consider myself as a traveler. Honestly, because I study abroad and I my flight back home was like took me like a day because it's like 12-hour different time zone, so it's like a day flying half of the country, half of the world, not country, sorry. But I just love to visit new places, um, and hang out with people that I never met before. I think that's part of the thing that I really love about it. It's just it's an opportunity for you to learn about new places and see if it's a good place for you to live later on. Uh, and also learn like just kind of network with different people from that place and just try to build like a really good relationship with everyone. So like let's just say after graduation, I decided to move to Chicago, for example. Um, I have already have friend there. I have connection there. So I think it's just very beneficial for me personally and also professionally.
Well, that's so great. And have you thought about where what you want to do after you graduate in December?
Well, actually, that's a really good question. I think I've been asked every single tab at this point. I would love to move to the city area, preferably Chicago, only because again K-pop, but also just because uh the environment there. I think Chicago is a mix between Boston and New York. I never been to New York, but I've been to Boston. Um, and I think I have a lot of good relationship with a lot of Chicagoan or just the post student there. So I just have a lot of friendship there, a lot of memory in Chicago in general. So I would love to live in that city after graduation. But I also not like limit myself to other country like Vietnam, my home country, or any other Asian or European country. Because again, I think that PR is very diverse. Everyone need PR. Everyone need a communication specialist. So, I'm just happy to be whoever I will be and explore different new opportunity and relationship.
Well, that's great that you are, I mean, working to establish these new relationships, try these new opportunities, and I mean everything in between that you've been able to do. And have there been any other experiences that you've had like within these past 4 years?
Like challenges, is that what you mean?
Yeah, like has there been any personal challenges or academic ones even that you faced over these past 4 years, or even fun experiences?
Oh, yeah, a lot. Well, I think one is homesick. It was freshman year. Let's just say something happened with my one of my friendship, and it just hit hard because you don't really have any support at the time. So French is the only thing that I have. So during that time, and I remember I called my mom uh during that week. I think it was Saturday or something. I called my mom at 4 a.m. and I cried. I don't say anything. I just like FaceTime my mom and I cry. And then I turn, I basically end the call. And then she texted me. She was like, no matter where you are, I always support you. Uh, you know, my parent, I think it's part of the Asian culture is that we don't really express the love. Like we don't say I love you and stuff like that. So the fact that she sent me that text, be like, I support you. I know it's difficult, stuff like that, really hit me. It really made me realize family is really important to family is the most important core of important value to me personally. Um, so that is one of my challenges is just really try to find home to overcome homesick because again I think that by now I realize home is not a place. Home is with someone that you love. um and also like just academically, yes, I almost failed a class. Is this actually a communication class? It's very embarrassed to say it because usually people will be like communication is easy. uh Honestly, I think the course was easy, but I was mentally not ready during that time, and I was struggling with my personal life because I think that that time was the time that I don't think communication will arrive it for me. Uh, so that course really challenged my language comprehension, but also just like it just kind of bored me. I know it's a very good course for PR. We basically learn how to write and research and stuff like that. It's just like it's just not really motivate me to go to class. I skip class a lot and stuff like that. So part of it is my fault, but also part of it is just mental health. And I think that is something that I want to mention is that mental health and physical health is really important. So no matter what kind of thing you do in life, take care of it because it really affects a lot of things. For example, me almost failing the class.
Well, I'm glad that that at least you were able to get your personal and mental health in check. I mean, and keep that in. And sometimes I feel like life just throws us these little reminders saying, "Hey, you know, make sure that you check in on yourself, because sometimes this is the thing I've always been saying is that uh, sometimes we're at a point where if we don't take a break for ourselves, the break will take for us.
Yeah, and that's just kind of keep along with your what you said. I think yeah, burnout is something that everyone's struggling. I still struggling, but I think you really need to have to balance work. Like you have to really do work life balance. Sometimes if you don't like the gym, just go out, have a work, and then come back and do work, kind of like that. So, yeah, I think you know you still have to learn your what you like and what you dislike, and try to balance everything out. Because yeah, you're a number one supporter. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad, that you've been able to give these uplifting messages. Tell us about your personal journey thus far, and even a little bit as to what you aspire to do. And I'm just truly in awe of everything that you've been able to do thus far and will continue to do.
Thank you so much, and I also think you did an amazing job with growing this podcast since 2017, right? So the fact that you have a lot of guests, amazing guests, in fact, you know, you did an amazing job for PR industry right now. So yeah,
Thank you so much. I so greatly appreciate that.
no problem.
And yeah, and before I begin, heading to some of our ending parts, I did want to ask too, because I know that, in the bio that you gave me, that you had mentioned that you had worked a little bit on a talk show for your university.
Oh yes. So this fall semester, so September, August, around that time, um, I have an opportunity to be a part of the producing a lifestyle TV show. So think of like Good Morning America on Today Show. We have Purdue version of it, and I think it's really helped me to actually apply PR skill like media pitch, media list, press release, etc. Just to connect Purdue community with what Lafayette, like the area's local community. I was being able and fortunate enough to connect with one of the most famous Purdue sibling, the Colvin. So just a background of their family is that the dad actually worked as football coach for Purdue team, and then the sister was part of female volleyball, and the brother actually um, a man basketball. So they are like Purdue sport family for years. Um, and being able to connect them with the local community is very great opportunity for me just to learn about what they did um, throughout the year, and why the reason why they stay with Purdue, um, how the community really helped them to be who they are right now, etc. But I also have a chance to connect with a lot of guests, and also have a chance to work with a lot of diverse major students. So most of them actually not communication students. Some they actually food science. Some of they actually economic. So there's a variety of diverse students during that, and I also learned how to use the camera. I know it sounds silly, but I actually never been to a studio. I never touched a professional camera. So the fact that I was being able to do that is really cool. And just being a reporter, I love to talk. I love to do public speaking, but the fact that I was being able to showcase my face on the NBC News, being a reporter, a very pressure precious moment for me. And also just like being an international student, working in those shows really highlight that, because a lot of people actually don't know that I'm international student, and you know just receive a lot of feedback after that. Even though I'm not being a part of the program anymore, I'm still grateful for that experience.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to be a part of it, even if you're no longer, a part of the organization. That's so great, though, and yeah, I'm just so glad that you were able to have these experiences, and yeah, and Liza, and before I begin closing out, I did want to mention too that you have your own podcast that you're working with now.
Yes, thank you for mentioning though. So so currently PSA National Committee have the PSA podcast. You can find on Spotify, Apple, and also our website, prsa.com. Um, we basically have different episodes about different things. So for me, I have two episodes about DI. So the first episode is just I basically talk about why DI is really important in our society. And our second DI podcast is about international students trying to navigate PR industry. But we also have a diverse topic like career, mentorship, and so on. So definitely make sure to check out. It's very educational and very beneficial, just like this show.
Thank you so much. And I definitely am so excited to listen to it myself. I had listened to just a little bit of some of the previous episodes of the PRSA podcast, but I'm so excited to check out the two episodes you have thus far and those that will be coming out.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's also my first time making podcast, so let me know if you have any feedback, cause it's something that I still learn. And this is fun fact: we also have Spanish version, uh, which is launched yesterday. Mila Cross talking with a PSA professional in Spanish, so definitely make sure to check that out. We try to expand different culture, different languages through our podcast, but also social media. So yeah,
I love the inclusivity in that.
yeah, that I love making podcast. I think it's a great way. Just like I think you also know this, like it's a great way to learn about different people, their perspective, and so on. So hopefully we will help you in our PSA podcast in the future.
Oh, I would love that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I it's been such an honor being able to speak with you and to get to officially meet you.
Yeah, it's also nice to talk to you finally individually because I think we've been linking connection for like a year. So the fact that I was being able to talk to you today and learn more about this podcast, but also your journey, um, really helped me to know more about PSA member.
Thank you. And yeah, I've so, like I said, I love being able to get to know about what you're doing in your role, on the PRSA National Committee and even the work that you do, as an individual. I mean, you're doing outstanding work.
Thank you so much. Again, I just try to pay it forward, help at least one person in my community to feel better, to feel positive. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did want to ask too. So when you're not doing all of this work, what are you doing in your free time?
Oh. Sleep. I would say I just hang out with friends. Sometimes we go to the bar, which, by the way, not all the time. Because I'm just a broke college student. But yeah, I just try to hang out with my friend. FaceTime with my family. Um, just have different hobby. I'm actually thinking of baking a cake, baking brownies this week because my guilty pleasure is just eating sweet all day. So that's the goal for this week. But yeah, I also love to go to the gym too. Not because I want to be like physical fit, but like I just want because I think go to the gym really help me to stay happy and positive. That's just something that I might do after this podcast. um, but yeah, I just I think find a hobby, do thing that you love, just to avoid burning out. That's something that I learned really hard this year. It's just trying to balance myself and do things that I love. You don't have to do work all the time.
Well, I'm so glad. I mean that you're able to find stuff that makes you happy and that you, yeah. I mean, so enjoy.
Yeah, I think that finding a hobby is really hard. I used to have a lot of hobby, and then somehow I don't. So this year is a year that I actually find a hobby because post graduation, I remember Lee said this in her uh when one of our presentation for the poll conference is that she tried to find hobby after post graduate, and I think it's so valid because we try to balance ourselves and again learn who we are at the end of the day.
Oh yes, definitely. I know for myself, as soon as I, graduate, I was like, well, awesome. So well, I'm excited to explore, and then, immediately after graduating, I graduated in May, and then I was working all summer, and it's like, okay, well, cool. The fall semester begins, in a few days, and for once, I won't have a class. And then one day later, I was at my university, and my university asked me to teach. And so I was like, oh, well, I guess I do have a class. And so that was an amazing, unexpected, but amazing, experience. But this semester there's not any classes, so I've been trying to figure out what to do while applying for jobs, and so it's like, aside from editing podcasts and watching TV, I've been trying to figure out what to do with all this time.
Yeah, I think whatever you do right now is one of the best hobby. Again, I still learn about podcasts, but the fact that some people like you is the inspirational for a lot of people out there who just explore podcasts like me.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm so excited, I mean, to see, like I said, you continuing to grow in the podcasting sphere, and yeah, and to see, like, I mean, even how the realm of podcasts continues to grow and evolve. And I did want to ask you, speaking of podcasts, what does it mean for you to be a guest here on the podcast?
Um, like the guest here today. Definitely a lot of great question. Very unexpected question as well. And it really, honestly, I really enjoy our conversation. Some of your question actually remind me of 3 year, 4 years ago when I first come here. Also just really helped me to like reflect what I did so far. Because sometimes, like as when you mentioned about nonprofit, I completely forgot until you mentioned it. So people like you really help us to kind of like reflect a good side of us and really help us to um spread the positive to the community, help people to learn more about us because usually I think a lot of people forgot that we like as a PR we learn a lot about people, but sometimes this kind of podcast or this kind of activity really help people to understand our perspective as a PR, uh, PR professional. So yeah, I'm glad that we are here. I hope the podcast will help people know me more, especially a lot of people don't really know me yet. They only know me professional side, but I hope this podcast bring them that I'm actually a funny person, or at least I act like I'm a funny person. Fun side of me, my personal side of me. So yeah,
Oh, you're definitely a fun person.
thank you. I try my best. I think it's part of it because of my dad. He's a hilarious guy, so I learned a lot of I guess joke from him. So yeah.
Well, that's certainly great. And if anyone would like to connect with you online, where are the best places for them to do so?
I would love to connect with them on LinkedIn. It's basically my name, UyenNGO. I think that's the best way. Me and LinkedIn is basically besties, so I actually always online on LinkedIn. And yeah, shoot me a message. I would love to talk to them. Uh, even if they just want to chit chat, random stuff, not PSA though, like anything, honestly. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And yeah, and last but certainly not least, so I did want to allow for you to go ahead and close out our episode with whatever be inspirational thought, life lesson, or whatever the case may be. The floor is all yours.
Oh my God, the pressure is here. I guess I'm just gonna say two things. One, always be your number one supporter because at the end of the day, no one saves you. you are by yourself in this whole world, so you have to be your own supporter. And two, rejection is direction. Don't take anything personal. Take the criticism and improve it. Because if one door closed, another door will open for you and even better for you. So yeah, that is my only two things that I hope everyone who ever listen to this podcast take away. And oh wait, last thing, be open mind. Um, I think I cannot emphasize enough for being open mind. Because that is the only way and the success way to connect with anyone that you want, including our connection right now. So yeah, just be open mind, learn new thing, try new thing, because you never know. You have to go bigger. You go home, and just be very positive with whatever you have. So yeah.
That's amazing, and I certainly hope that those tuning in definitely connect with you, on LinkedIn, have conversations, with you, and that we can continue growing these connections and bring people together.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I would love to talk to anyone. I hope that this podcast will help everyone to learn different side of me, part of PR, being a PR as a national committee or PR as a national VP of DI. Um, yeah, I love to connect with people and learn more about their journey as they learn about my journey right now.
That's amazing. And I actually did have one thing that had just hit me while you're saying that. So, since leadership assembly is coming up, what advice do you have for the next vice president of BEDI?
Oh, this is hard. I think just just believe yourself. I will say that. When I first be in this position, a lot of them actually don't know that there's a DI position in national committee. It was a bit crazy, so a bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But just believe in yourself. Whatever you propose in your initiative, um, just try to do it, and eventually the result is that people will know about your work, people will appreciate your work. And that's true because when I was in California for icon, a lot of students actually come up and say how much appreciate I they are with my work. And a lot of international students actually feel very included because I actually one of the very first international student in the state who actually um, one of the first international in the state actually being part of a national committee. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I become a great influence to other, even if they're just student from different chapters. So yeah.
Well, that's amazing, and I definitely hope that, like I said, we keep in touch. I'm so excited to see what you're going to do in the future.
Yeah, I am too. I hope I don't know if you're including this podcast, but I hope I still be a part of national committee next year and definitely stay in touch with each other. Again, love to have you back in our PSA podcast or honestly any event from PSA.
I love that. I love that, and hopefully, if things work out, maybe we can see each other at Icon.
Yeah, I am excited because fun fact about Icon next year is actually happen on my birthday. So we will celebrate my 22nd birthday there.
That's amazing. I mean, if I'm able to go, we'll definitely celebrate.
Yeah, so good. Just let me know.
Yeah, I certainly will. And for those tuning in, thank you so much as always for tuning into the Tansson Talks show. I always appreciate your support, and we're going to continue as always to help bring people together. I'll see you next time. Take care.